right. What's going on, everybody? Happy New Year to ya. Happy New Year to ya. Oh, yeah. Happy New Year. Man, it is that time already. It is 2026. And here I am, just doing a quick pop-up live for y'all. Quick pop-up. If you are hanging out with me just for a few moments, then do me a favor and say what's up in the comments. I'm so glad that you're here. So glad that you are here. I'm kind of keeping it low energy right now, and just I'll be honest with you, a little bit of a struggle for a moment, because it's the new year and the expectation is that people say stuff, people go live. Let me turn my music down just a little bit. People go live, people say stuff, and we come with the knowledge and we come with all of the answers for y'all. But I don't have the answers. I just decided today, as I was prepping for my new week, which really begins on Monday, my new work week, my work year essentially begins on Monday. But I decided, you know what? I had some things that I was walking through last year, 2025. I had some stuff that I was, practicing and processing. And I said, you know what? Let me go through and let me share a little bit with people. Nathalie, Greg, it's so good to see you. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Yes, Coach AD in the house. Happy New Year to you. Yeah. All right. So I decided what I wanted to do was I wanted to share some thoughts or reflections, as it were, on 2025, and then talk a little bit about 2026 and what that's going to look like for me and what it can look like for you. So again, this is an interactive one. If you're like, listen, Robert, I'd love to hop on and chat with you, let me know, and I'll set it up so that you can do that. All right. So matter of fact, let me start setting this thing up. If you want to join, just let me know. Just say me, and I'll pop a link in the comment for you, and you can. As a matter of fact, let's just do this. Let me set this up right now. Let me set it up and invite you to it. All right. Good deal. All right, y'all. So yeah, let me see. I'm gonna put the link here, or I'm gonna put a meeting ID in the comments or in the ticker below here so that you can join me if you choose. But let's see. Here's the ID. Come on, y'all. Hang with me for just a few moments. We're gonna get started. I just want to give you the option to join me if you choose. All right, let's see if we can set this up. 2726. All right, cool. So this is what we do live, yo. Sometimes we just go. All right. So in the ticker down below, if you want to join, if you want to get connected, I'm going to be talking about 10 reflections that I have on 2025, and then 10 things that you can do, or 10 ideas, 10 tips that I want to share with you for 2026. All right. So if you want to join me right below, you should be able to see. If you want to hop on Zoom, put in the ID 991-9132-2726. 991-9132-2726. All right. Good. So let's jump on it. I don't want to keep this any longer than it needs to be. And I'm just keeping it real simple today. So 2025 is gone. I've heard a lot of people talking about 2025 and all of the different things that happened and didn't happen. I at my church yesterday, we had this session, or we had a time where people could kind of give testimonies. And there's some people that were saying, oh my gosh, 2025 was the worst year ever. And some people talked about how they made it through, and all the different things that happened. And 2025 for me was a year. It was a year. And when I say a year, it wasn't a good year. It wasn't a bad year. It was a year. It was a year where I just took in a lot of stuff. I observed a lot of stuff. I decided that I was going to take life as it came. There were people that I went to high school with that passed away. I had there was a lot of death in 2025. There was just a lot of stuff that happened. There was a lot of grieving in 2025. And when I talk about grieving, I'm not just talking about death or sickness. I'm also talking about going from one season to the next. In 2025, I had a child move out of my house. Ooh, yeah, right. That's one. I had one child go to another year of school. I had in 2025 my last child start their senior year of high school. So I'm moving ever so closer, moving closer and closer and closer and closer to that empty nest thing, right? And so my wife and I are in this space where we're like, okay, what's next? And how do we practice that? How's 2025 for you? What's one word, if you can put it in the chat, if you can put it in the comments, what's one word that you would use to describe 2025 for you? What's one word that you would use to describe 2025? My word to describe 2025 would be seasons. Seasons. Leaving one season and entering a next. And everything that came with that. All right. Oh my gosh, my friend. What's going on, Rain? Phoenix. Blessed. 2025 was blessed for you. Excellent. I love that. Listen, I'm praying for you, my friend, and hoping that you wishing the best for you in 26. Let's get connected again real soon. And Mariah, what's going on, my friend? Stretching. I like it. Stretching. Yep. I like it. Excellent. All right. Coach AD's like, listen, I got multiple words, but I'm gonna just hyphenate it. It was faith test. that was it. All right. Natalie, you says there was robust loss and grief in 25, the season of transition. Yeah, that was 2025 was a year of seasons. Oh my gosh. My friend Nordia Eichner says eventful. That was your word for 2025. That was your description of 2025. I like it. Okay. And then Phoenix is like, likewise, God is good and God got us. Yep, absolutely. I love it. Absolutely. So 2025, I'll start with some reflections. And I don't have anything to put on screen. Actually, I'm live. I can do what I want. I can put stuff on screen if I want. So let me just start out with reflections. All right. And we're not going to make this professional. Give me 1 second. Let me do something real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me do something really quickly. All right, y'all are just watching me like, what's this dude up to? What's he doing? Okay, here we go. All right. Benjamin was like, eventful. Nice. Fantastic. So let me just do some quick reflections on 2025. So here's number one. My number one reflection on 2025 is this. I do want to put this text on screen so that you can track with me. All right, here it is. Here's my number one reflection for 2025. Let me make this larger. Not every conversation is worth my attention. That's my number one reflection. Not every conversation is worth my attention. Why did I write that? And why is that a reflection? Well, I think more than ever in 25, I saw so much happening online, so many arguments, so many different things happening online. And some of it was for the algorithm, right? Some people went ham in the comments. People responded to every little thing. And I don't want to wade into deep water, but I'll start here. I remember was it September or October when the whole Charlie Kirk thing happened? There were so many differing thoughts online, and people had opinions. People had thoughts, and people were like, let me put my 2 cents or my 5 cents or my nickel or my dime in here. And I saw so many different arguments start because people were on different sides or insensitive or all these different things. And over the last few years, one of the things that I've learned is that I, Robert Kennedy III, RK3, am limited. I only have a certain capacity. I only have a certain capacity. I only have a certain capacity for certain amount of conversations. I only have a certain amount of capacity for thought. I have limited. My energy resources are limited until they get replenished. And so if I were to jump into every single conversation, and my gosh, there's so much rage baiting online, right? I'm gonna just say something ridiculous. I'm gonna say something super controversial so that I can get people mad and angry and tickle the algorithm. And not every conversation is worth my attention. And let me put my number two reflection on screen right now, and number two is connected to number one. It's connected to number one. Here it is. The news cycle and the rage cycles are numbing us. What do I mean? Well, everything that happens, and I don't want to minimize the hurricanes and the tornadoes and the volcanoes and the shootings, but here's what's happening. Every one of them, every time it's happening, people get mad for a certain number of days. People get affected or like, "Argh!" for a certain number of days. And then the next thing happens. And then the next thing happens. And before you know it, the thing that made us mad 3 weeks ago, where we're like, yep, we should be marching in the streets. We should be protesting. We should be doing all these things. And now I'm not mad anymore because this other thing is taking place. So that's reflection number two for me. The news cycle and the rage cycles. There's something to that, right? People are always mad. It seems like everybody's always mad about something. Here's the latest thing. I don't know what your persuasion is, but and I didn't even see this thing yet, but I just hopped onto social media and I saw people saying something about somebody's dress. And apparently it was Jamal Bryant. If you know anything about Jamal Bryant, he's the pastor at Megachurch New Birth in Atlanta. And I guess his wife wore a dress to some event that people were tripping out about. And people are mad and pulling up their religious crosses and everything about the dress. And I, to this moment, still haven't seen the dress, nor will I be looking for the dress. Right? But here we are at the end of the year, just starting a new one. And there's another thing that people are mad about. And so the news cycle and the rage cycles They just kind of keep us moving from one thing to the next, and they numb us. That's reflection number 2. Let's go with reflection number 3. Because all of this is happening, reflection number 3 for me is that I have really been leaning into my relationships. I've been leaning into my relationships. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? Misty Campbell, good to see you. Latanya Johnson, oh my gosh, good to see you. Yeah. So my reflection number 3 on 2025 is that family and real friendships are the ultimate currency. Man, we spend so much time trying to build business and earn 6 figures and 7 figures and 8 figures. And every ad is like, you can do this and and I'm guilty. I want people to be the best that they can be. And so I will motivate and inspire people to be better than they were yesterday. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, your family and your real friendships are the ultimate currency. Because listen, you could spend the majority of your life chasing the coin. You could spend the majority of your waking hours chasing the dollar bill. And then one day you get sick and you're in bed and you can't chase anymore. If you spent all of that time ignoring relationships, then you've got nothing and you've got nobody. So number 3 for me is that family and friendships are the ultimate currency. Ooh, yeah. So these reflections, these are just things that I'm saying, that I'm thinking about, and that I'm going to give 10 that I want you to do. Okay. So let's go with number 4. Most of what keeps us stuck is not real. Most of what we're afraid of isn't real. And when I want you to hear me when I say this. When I say it's not real, I'm saying that it hasn't happened yet. The stuff that keeps us back is stuff that hasn't happened yet. We say, oh, I'm not ready to do this. I don't want to go on live. I don't want to get on my camera because people are going to make fun of me. They haven't made fun of you yet. I don't want to do this because I don't like the way that I sound. There has been no sound yet. I don't want to, because I don't have enough money. You haven't done it yet. Most of the stuff that we are afraid of is not real. It doesn't exist. And you won't know that it exists, but you won't know whether it exists or not until you actually create it and bring it to reality. And the only way that you can create it is by getting in action. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna go deep. I can't wait to get to our tips because there's some stuff. All right, so number 5 reflection. Number 5 reflection is that, listen, in the same way that my mental capacity is finite, so is time. And when I say so is time, I'm talking about the moment that I have right now, I will only have it for that moment. Once the moment passes, I won't have it. And I don't know. I can't count on the next moment. I don't know when the next moment's going to happen. So number 5 reflection that I have is don't put things off till later. Man, we were talking about grieving seasons, grieving friendships, grieving relationships, grieving lives of people. My goodness, over the last 6 weeks at my church, there have been so many different deaths. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, just before Christmas, I got a text from my mom that a cousin of mine just unexpectedly passed away in England. He'd been missing at work for a couple of days and they did a wellness check and he was no longer there. He had passed away. Don't put things off until later, right? If you've got a grudge, if you are mad at somebody, if you have an annoyance or, but we just had this Festivus thing at my friend's house. I love it. Right? So I don't know if you've ever done Festivus. It's like, you write out your grievances and you post them on a tree. As a matter of fact, yesterday at my church, my pastor did something where he was like, what are you not taking into 26? What do you need to let go? And he had everybody write it down on a piece of paper, and then there was a shredder at the front of the church, and everybody lined up, and you had to take that thing and put it into the shredder. Right? Don't put things off until later. Don't let grudges linger. If you need to say sorry, don't be like, I'm going to say sorry next week. Nope. Say it now. If you want to say I love you to somebody, don't put it off. Say it now. Don't put things off until later. Don't put it off until later. What's going on, my people? Garen Sproul, what's going on, brother? Danny Lewis, so good to see you. Dr. Will Moreland, hey, what's going on, people? D. Bowden, good to see you this evening. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep locking. Okay, number six. This is good. This is a good one. Number 6 reflection for 2020 from 2025. And it's this: operating without a plan just makes you busy. Operating without a plan just makes you busy. Listen, I don't even want to blame anybody. There were times in 2025 where I got up and I just did stuff. Have you ever made a to-do list and you got like 20 things on the to-do list and you're going down the list and you're checking stuff off, and then you realize at some point that the stuff on the list wasn't stuff that moved the needle. It wasn't stuff that moved you forward. And you're just checking off stuff on the list and you're going down this list of tasks because you don't have a plan. You don't have clarity about what you want to do next or where you want to head. Right? And don't get me wrong. Sometimes you have an idea, but you don't have the next steps, and that's okay. But you got to put a plan together. I forget who says it, but most motivational speakers, inspirational speakers have heard the statement, when you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. Either way, you got to have a plan. Right? Operating without a plan just makes you busy. You're just doing stuff. And that gets tiring. All right. Number 7 reflection on 2025. I like this one. Here's my next reflection. Hey, y'all that are here, do me a favor. Invite somebody to join this. All right. Invite somebody to join the session. All right. Again, if you want to join me in the Zoom room, if you want to hop on live with me, even for a few minutes, join me. You can just come to Zoom, go 991-9132-2726, and you can join the Zoom room, and I'll pop you in and bring you up. All right. Hey, Maxine, good to see you. Alicia Dahl Allen. All right. Tiara Webb. Good seeing you. All right. Let me see what this person's saying. Benjamin saying my biggest regret was putting things off, like saying I love you. Yeah, that's important. All right, good deal. All right, so people will judge you whether you tell them to or not. I can't remember how many times, I can't tell you how many times I've heard online people talking about that hashtag, don't judge me. Or why are people judging me? And we get mad and we get upset and we hesitate from doing things because we're like, we're going to be judged. We don't like being judged. Listen. It doesn't matter how many times you say, don't judge me. It doesn't matter how many times you say, I don't want to be judged. It doesn't matter how many times you say, I don't like being criticized, or people are going to judge you whether you want them to or not. And here's the real, or as AI says, here's the kicker. You do the same thing. You judge people. You do. And that's not a bad thing. That's how you know who's trustworthy. That's how you know who you want to work for. That's how you know who you want to hang around with. That's how you know who is safe for you to be around. That's how you know who to tell your secrets to. Because you judge people. People will judge you whether you tell them to or not. So stop hesitating, stop pausing, stop getting angry in your life because of judgment. People will judge you whether you want them to or not. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. What are some reflections that we've got? If you've got any reflections, if there's anything that you are reflecting on from 25 that you're like, oh yeah, I want to bring this to life in 26, then pop that in the chat. All right, cool. Let's keep going. Pay attention. Next reflection. This is number 8. Pay attention to trends, but don't copy them all. Here's one of the things that I've learned, especially in this technology era. There are going to be things that come and go. There are going to be trends. Let's talk about trends for a second. Well, what is a trend? If you go on TikTok or if you go on Instagram, there are literally these categories or these pages that tell you what's trending so that you can know what to post or what to talk about so that you can potentially get visibility or go viral. Right? And some people spend all their time looking at what's trending. And trends can take over life, right? Do you know that there are literally people that are in basketball games hoping that the score is 67. 6-7. Right? It's a trend, and tomorrow it won't be. And so sometimes we spend an inordinate amount of time paying attention to trends or paying attention to something that is here now, but in 2 days is going to be gone. And we spend time and effort trying to create something that lines up with that trend. Now, I am not somebody that's a Luddite that's like, don't ever pay attention to trends. Yeah, you should pay attention to trends sometimes and leverage them for visibility when it's appropriate or when it makes best sense for you. Don't spend your time attempting to copy every single trend that comes along. All right. That's number 8. Number 9. I like this one. I like this reflection. Number 9 reflection is question everything, but believe people when they show you who they are. Question everything, but believe people when they show you who they are. Especially in this political cycle or the stuff that's happening here. I was watching something with Jon Stewart, the Daily Show with Jon Stewart the other day, and he was talking about the parallels or the similarities between the Iran war or the Iraq war and what's happening right now with Venezuela. And so we have people that are like, yes, we should do that. Yes, we should attack. Yes, we should do this. But just a few years ago, they were like, no, we shouldn't do that. So the question that he was asking was, why is this right and why is that not right? Why is what happened then valid, but what happens now is not, or vice versa? Why is what's happening now valid and what happened then was silly? Question everything, but believe people when they show you who they are. I won't go any deeper on that one. All right. Here's my last reflection. And I hope you like this one. This is my last reflection. And I hope this is making you think Not every opportunity is made for you. Not every opportunity is made for you. Sometimes we rush and we run and we compare and we do all this stuff because we're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss this opportunity. Have you ever gone after an opportunity or moved all sorts of stuff to make an opportunity work and then it just didn't work out? Sometimes that opportunity isn't for you. Not every opportunity is made for you. But here's the thing about life that I really want people to understand. There is such a thing as missing opportunities. But I truly believe that what is for me is for me. And if I keep focused, if I keep locked in, if I keep in a space where I'm like, listen, I'm going to act courageously. I'm going to do something. I'm not going to be stagnant or sit still. I'm after progress no matter what. I believe that it's going to work out. It's going to work out. Half the time we spend fearing, half the time we spend thinking that something's not going to work out. And if you would just do something, you would see that life life can be set up for you to succeed. Yeah, there are going to be failures on the way, but failure for me is an opportunity for growth. Failure is an opportunity to learn a lesson. Failure is feedback. Failure is data that says, you know what? This thing didn't work. Here's how you can make that better. So you got to take chances. January 1st, 2026. Take some chances, y'all. Take some doggone chances. Take some chances. You never know. That chance might make the difference for you. All right. So let's talk about some tips. What are some tips? All right. So we got a bunch of stuff. Let's see who's chatting here. When they show you who they are, does that mean they can't change? All right, let me let me stop for a second and get some of these comments here. So Teresa says, I need to stop playing small. Yes, all of us do, Teresa. Appreciate that. Let's see what else we got. Latanya says, when they show you who they are, does that mean they can't change? No, it doesn't mean they can't change. What it does mean is that if they show you that same thing repeatedly, you are not obligated to give them access to you to do the same thing again and again. I love to tell my kids this. I mean, when people do stuff, you might get offended or you might get annoyed, but every action is data. Every word that people utter is data. Every response is data. Does that mean people are all bad or all good? It's data. It's like, okay, yep, they did that. Cool. Let me put this in this bucket. And then at some point you decide, how does that fit in my life? Do I want to expose myself to that? Or do I have something that's a better fit for me now? Right? So with regard to, does that mean people can't change? Yeah, people can change. The question for me is, what is it worth for me to spend the time waiting for them to change? Is it going to take time for them to change? And while I'm waiting for that change to happen, is there an opportunity that I'm missing out on? So, every situation is different. Sometimes it's a relationship, sometimes it's marriage, and there's some different things that go with that. But Yeah. Yeah. Ultimately, you're in charge of your life and you get to decide how much time you spend on anything and how much time and access you give other people. The more that you are willy-nilly with that, the more that you are unintentional with that, is the more that you slide and you drift and you lose clarity and you operate in chaos, or you operate according to somebody else's timeline and agenda. In 2026, do you want to operate according to someone else's timeline and agenda, or are you determined to make sure that the gifts that you have, the abilities that you have, the skills that you have are increased, and that you grow them so that you can create real transformation in your community and in your world? Do something. Do something. Don't wait for people to change. Be the change. And the only person you can change is yourself. Yeah. I said every action is data. Absolutely. And Maxine says, and loss of boundaries. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. Let's go into some tips. My next segment, or my next area that I want to do right now, we walked through just some reflections and thoughts that I had, but I want to just give you some things to think about and do in 2026, or to help you get better in 2026. So here's the next thing. Tip number 1 is create time for yourself right now. And then the second piece of that is get it on your calendar now. How many of us put time on our calendar for work meetings? We'll put time on our calendar for work meetings. Our kids have baseball or soccer or football or basketball games. We put that in our calendar, or we set aside time for it. Right? Our church has something, we set aside time for it. Our job has something, we set aside time for it. But do we create time for ourselves? Do we put it on our calendar? As you created your goals, as you created your list of things that you want to push after in 2026, did you say, you know what is my me time? What is the time for me to sit and strategize? Or what is the time for me just to replenish? What is the time for me to rejuvenate? Did you plan that? Were you intentional about that? Were you strategic about that? Or did you just leave it to chance and say, you know what? Whenever I have some time for myself, then I'll make some time for myself. Get it on your calendar now. I challenge you, as a matter of fact, before it hits January 5th, today's the 1st, before it hits January 5th, I challenge you to intentionally place at least 6 times on your calendar for yourself. At least 6. Here's how that can work. I do these things called personal retreats. And so what I do is sometimes I'll go away for the day. I'll just get an Airbnb, hotel, or whatever, and I'll go away. So I'll leave like maybe Sunday afternoon. I'll spend all day Monday, and then I'll come back Tuesday morning. Now, everybody may not be able to do that, but can you set time on your calendar to go to the library for a day? Or sometimes there is an office space that's out of my house, that's away from my own office space, that I go and I sit in. There's a co-working space that I'll go sit, and I'll sit there for like 5 or 6 hours. Get lunch, bring lunch in, and I'll just sit. Sometimes I'm working on something that I'm focused on, or sometimes I'm just nothing. Sometimes I'll go to play golf, or I'll go to the driving range on a Friday. That's time for myself, but that doesn't happen without intention. All right? It happens. We might be lucky and get some accidental time for ourselves, but it's just like putting your oxygen mask on first. Have you created that intentionally for yourself? So that's action number 1. That's tip number 1. To create success in 2026, create time for yourself and get it on your calendar now. Okay. Tip number two. Tip number 2. That's right, David. David's like, personal retreats are fire. They are. Tip number 2. Choose a place to plant your flag. David, I'm glad you're here. You're going to like this one. Choose a place to plant your flag. Now, here's what that means. A lot of us, we have businesses, or we have a career, or we have something that we're putting together. We're, coaching, consulting. We want to create visibility. We got a message that we want to get out. And somebody says to you, hey, you got to be on Instagram. Hey, you got to be on Threads. Hey, you got to be on Substack. Hey, you got to be on LinkedIn. Hey, you got to be on YouTube. Hey, you got to be on Snapchat. All right. Hey, you got to be on what else is there? You got to be on all of these 8 platforms. I'm forgetting Facebook. You got to be on Facebook. You got to have a Facebook profile and a business page, and you got to be on School, and you got to be on Circle, and you got to be on Mighty Networks, and before you know it, you are trying to do all of these different things. If you want to create, or you got to have a podcast. If you want to create momentum in 2026, choose a place to plant your flag. Right? Choose a place to plant your flag. Now, you can plant your flag in 1 place or 2 places, and that's fine. No more than 3. Choose a place to plant your flag. Where's my flag? Where are my flags in 2026? My flags are LinkedIn, number 1. Number 2, Substack. Number 3, YouTube. Those are the places that I will intentionally be, right? Those are the places that I will intentionally be. Yeah, I'll sometimes multi-stream to some of the other platforms, but you probably won't find me that often posting and engaging and doing a lot of stuff on Facebook, because that's not where my flag's planted. My flag is planted on LinkedIn, it's planted on Substack, and that's for growth purposes. And it's planted on LinkedIn, on YouTube. Okay, so that's number 2. Choose a place to plant your flag. Choose a place to plant your flag. Number 3 tip for success. All right, Robert's like, what is Substack? Listen, you gotta check it out, my friend. Substack, if you've ever heard of Medium, Substack is like a platform that is part article and blog, part podcast and live stream, part community. Okay, check out Substack.com. It's really neat platform, and it's still in the early stages of some of its growth. It's been around for a while, but they just started to release some features, and it's got some growth that's happening there. All right, good deal. So, hey, y'all, before I jump to number 3 here, if you haven't yet seen the stuff that's on the bottom here, over the course of the year, we're going to be doing a lot of different classes and workshops about how to amplify your voice, how to create visibility for yourself in the marketplace, utilizing your voice and your story in person and on video. So I want you to join us in the Amplify community. Go to amplifyvoiceandvideo.com/community. Go to amplifyvoiceandvideo.com/community. All right. Cool. So number three tip. Ooh, you're going to like this one. Create an offline home base. Do you remember the day when Facebook went down? Do you remember the day when all the Google stuff went down? There is going to be a day where all of the stuff, all of the technologies that you want to use for your life and for your business will not work. And here's what happens. Typically, people, if your entire business model is based on those things, people freak out. They're like, oh my gosh, nothing's working. I can't do anything. I don't know what to do with myself. My life is over. All of that is going through people's brain. Do you have an offline home base? Do you have an offline home base? Do you have a space where if the internet goes down or if life changes, where you can still build and create and connect? Do you have a text list that you can still connect with? Do you have in-person or local events that you run? What is it? Do you have an offline or a non-internet heavy space that you can still operate out of, or that you can still do things that will still allow you to create visibility in your life? All right. If any of these social networks go down, you don't want to be caught and stuck depending on Clubhouse or Substack only or Facebook only or Instagram only. Create an offline home base. All right. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4. Ooh, we're going slow here. I only got about 10 minutes or so. All right. Number 4 tip for 2026. Choose a way to improve yourself or your learning. All right. Okay. Latanya said it is going really fast. All right. It's Amplify. I should have put the QR code, but like I said, this was a pop-up. I didn't really plan it out here. Amplifyvoiceandvideo.com/community. Amplifyvoiceandvideo.com/community. If anybody is in the chat and you can type that in the chat for me, that would be great. All right. Good deal. So let me, my music is stopped. Let me keep playing it. Hold on one second. Let me get back to it. All right, cool. All right. Choose a way to improve your learning. Make sure that you don't get static or stagnant. Is there something that you're learning? Is there a course that you're involved in? Is there a certification that you're involved in? Is there something that you're doing through Harvard Business School? Is there something that you're doing through the NASDAQ Milestones Entrepreneurial Center? Is there something that you're doing to improve your learning? How many books are you reading? Are you in communities that help you to explore different perspectives and thought processes? What is it that you're learning? If you think back to 2025, let's think back to January 1, 2025. What did you learn? Not from life, not from just experiences or failures, but what did you intentionally learn in 2025? What did you intentionally learn in 2025? And here's what I would like you to do. As you are intentionally learning stuff, I want you to track it. Structured methods of learning, like a certification program, like a coaching certification, those are all ways of learning in a structured way. And when you do that, I want you to, thank you, Phoenix. All right. When you do that, I want you to track it. What I want you to be tangible about how you're growing. I don't want you to guess at your growth. I want you to be tangible. I want you to understand, have benchmarks and KPIs for yourself. How am I growing? How am I getting better? How am I improving? And you do that by being intentional about the channels of your learning. All right. We only have a little bit of time left. We only got a little bit of time left. Let me get these last 5 or 6 out of the way. I was watching a live with my friend Tanya Smith earlier today, and this is one thing that I took from her with regard to a success tip. She said, prepare for the unexpected. Prepare for the unexpected. In 2026, prepare for the unexpected. What am I talking about? What do I mean? Well, we just talked about how there were so many different losses in 2025. The majority of those people, not everybody expects to go. And when you go, what happens to your family? Do you have a will in place? Do you have a succession plan in place? Do you have all your passwords in a place where your family can know how to access them if you're unavailable to do that? All right. Have you ever watched those TV shows where somebody is just driving and, you know, the scene and the music is really quiet and they're driving straight, and then all of a sudden they get to an intersection and they look and some truck T-bones the car, or there's an impact and life is changed in an instant. Somebody's in the hospital, right? What is it that your family or your friends or people do or can do when the unexpected happens to you? Now, I know that might feel a little bit morbid to some people, but listen, I was at a funeral the other day, and one of the things I committed to was before the end of January, I'm going to have my funeral planned out. Now, some of y'all are like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about that. Listen, it's not a bad thing. I'm going to gamify my funeral. My funeral is going to be a fun event. It's going to be a celebration event. You know, if God gives me these next 30 days, I'm going to set it up so that, listen, y'all going to laugh and have fun at my funeral. Right? But that is because I prepared for it. I'm planning for it. Y'all, who's on that with me? Yeah, let's prepare for the unexpected. You just never know. And so that's in life, but with your business as well. What are some of the unexpected things that can happen in your business? Take a moment to sit down and write down what's the worst that could happen. What's the worst thing that could happen in your business? Okay, once you've thought about what that worst is, then prepare for it. What is something that you can create? What is something that you can put in place? Do you have standard operating procedures for when things break? Do you have an IT plan for when things don't work? What happens when the internet goes down? Do you have a follow through or a business continuity plan for that? Prepare for the unexpected. Do that this year. Do that this year. My word for 2026. So the last few years I've had some big words. My word for 25 was God-sized, and I had, I believe, intentional and purposeful and different things below that. My word for 2026 is systems. SYSTEMS. My word for 2026 is systems. I've got to make sure that my all of my automations, workflows, all of the systems that we use in not just my business, but in my life. I should not be the engine running every part of my life. There've got to be some systems that are in place. If something happens to me, if I step out of the process, is there a system in place to keep it going? My word is systems. What's yours? What's yours? All right, let's go. Let's go. We got about 7 minutes or so. Let's go. Number six tip. And this goes without saying, but not everybody's taking this thing serious just yet. For 2026, you've got to learn how to use AI. I'm not just talking about, okay, let me go hit up ChatGPT and say, hey, ChatGPT, where is the nearest restaurant, or what's the best restaurant? No, how can I create an application, or how can I create a process or an automation in order to solve a problem that's unique to me and maybe some other people in my community or in my industry? Learn how to use AI. I don't want you to go and get overwhelmed by all 50,000 AI programs. You don't need to learn Grok and DeepSeek and Claude and Gemini and ChatGPT and Perplexity and Copilot. You don't need to learn all of them, but you've got to learn how to use AI. Why? Because within the next 5 years, AI is going to be proliferating, and it's going to be making its way through every area of your life. If you are not learning it, if you're not learning how to leverage it, you're going to be left behind. That's just what's real. Learn how to use it. If you're afraid of AI taking your job or your business, then okay, that's a valid fear, but AI is not going to take away your job or your business. The people who know how to use AI will take away your job and your business. So you learn how to use it. Learn how to use AI. All right, cool. Number seven thing, and this is my favorite of everything. This is my favorite of everything because this is my wheelhouse right here, right? Number 7 thing, learn how to communicate more effectively. I've said this is what I've trumpeted to my kids. This is what I trumpet to every executive that we train and coach. This is what I trumpet to every leader, every manager, every emerging leader. Learn how to communicate more effectively. I'm not saying that people who cannot communicate will never be in top leadership positions. And that's all I'll say about that. But what I will say is that those who communicate more effectively make more impact long term, and your life is a bit more efficient. Right? I had a situation a couple of days ago with my son where he had to renew something online, and he had to make a call to a government department, and he called and he spoke and he asked a couple of questions, but he didn't know how to communicate his ideas in a certain way. And at the end of the conversation, or close to the end, I hopped on the call and I said, "Hey, this is Robert's dad." And I said, blah, 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 blah. Sure, some of that is experience, but I was able to get some responses and some answers that he did not, simply because of a difference in communication style. So learn how to communicate more effectively. You want to learn a little bit more about that. You want to get connected, and you want to grow in that area. We've got some classes called the Influential Public Speaking classes that we'll be running through the course of this year that will lead you in that space. So ask me any questions, DM me, instant message me, go to our website, join the community, and let's talk about that. All right, let's go. Number 8, we've got just a few minutes here. I'll go past the 8 o'clock hour if we need to finish this up. But number 8 tip for 2026, celebrate small things weekly at least. My goodness, we keep just going. We keep going, and we miss out on moments of celebration. We miss out on moments of celebration, and so life goes by, and some of us get a little bit overwhelmed, and we don't realize the good that we have done. I want you to put a time on your calendar. If you haven't noticed yet, what I've been saying is be intentional about some stuff. Put a time on your calendar. Have it as a part of your weekly scrum or your weekly stand-up or your weekly meeting with yourself. What am I celebrating this week? I do some stuff with the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program. And when I deal with the national cohorts, or when I deal with the national program, one of the questions I ask at the end of every week, what are you celebrating this week? Who has a little bit of good news to share? And it doesn't even have to be, my gosh, we won a contract, or we got this, or no. What is something small that you can celebrate? What's something small that you can celebrate? My gosh, I made it through 2 days without eating processed sugar. Ooh, yeah, that's a celebration. My goodness, I was able to walk 2 miles today when I was only able to do 1.5 miles last week. Ooh, yeah, celebration. What is something small that you can celebrate? I got my inbox down to 100 emails. All right, I'm not at 0 yet, but I'm down to 100. I delegated better this week. Celebrate it. I love what Colin is saying. Colin says, I'm going to stretch my arms more frequently to pat myself on the back. I love it. Let's go, Colin. Let's go. I love it. All right. Set a time on your calendar to celebrate something, even the small things, daily. Let's go with our last 2 success tips for 26 here. Here's the next one. Celebrate people daily. Celebrate people daily. You want to create more business. You want to create more connections. You want to create more visibility. Celebrate people every day. I celebrate Nathalie Gregg, who's been a friend, a confidant, somebody who supports and celebrates me for the last, probably 6 or 7 years, shows up, does live tweets, live chatting, and she's phenomenal at what she does, right? You want somebody who's able to create greater impact and greater visibility online for your stuff, live with your events. Check out Nathalie Gregg. My cousin Colin Sandy is amazing. His company, Sandy Audio Visual, they do live streaming for events and productions. And so they do that for a lot of government orgs, and they do it for a lot of corporations. They do amazing work. Check out Sandy Audio Visual. All right. We've got some people here. Celebrate people. Teresa at My Office Professionals. Her company has virtual assistants and executive assistants that make it easier for busy business owners or busy small business professionals to focus on their zone of genius while a group of people handles the other logistical details. Right. My Office Professionals. Teresa has been a friend and a confidant and a colleague for quite a few different years. They do great work, right? Celebrate people daily. Celebrate people daily, right? Why should you celebrate? People just love it. People they're lifted up. They're warmed when somebody says, "Oh my gosh, you are awesome. You're amazing. You do great work." I've got this practice where when I get up or when I wake up, and I learned this from Glenn Lundy some years back, just texting people and saying, "Hey, just thought about you. Love what you do. Love how you show up in the world," and text a few people. Let's hop on a call. Would love to reconnect soon. Have good conversations and celebrate people daily. All right. Now, last success tip for 2026. My goodness, I don't believe that we've been on for an hour. That wasn't my plan. I thought I was just going to zoom through these things and be out of here in like 20 minutes. But for those of you that have been on, thanks for hanging out with me. All right. Last one. Step out of your comfort zone at least one time daily. Step out of your comfort zone at least uno tiempo. Oh yeah. One time daily. Right? Step out of your comfort zone at least one time daily. What does that mean? Okay. Is there something that is hard for you? Maybe that's exercise. And that's one of the reasons I work out early in the day. I don't want to work out in the evening. I try to eat that frog. I try to take a bite out of the elephant as early as I can. I do something hard early in the day because that sets the tone for my courage and my challenge meter during the day. Step out of your comfort zone at least once daily. There's some people that love exercise. There's some people, my buddy Sean Chevalier of Chevalier Fitness and Coaching. There's some people that love exercise. I am not one of those people. For me, exercise is functional. I love competition. I like to ride with people. I like to play sports with people. And if that combines with exercise, yes, great. But to sit in my basement and pull-ups and not fun. Not fun. Not fun at all. But I do it because I'm like, okay, I want to live longer. I want to live a healthy life. I want to be around as long as I can for my wife and for my kids. And even though it's uncomfortable, even though it's something I don't want to do, that's one area where I'm like, okay, let me just do the hard thing. What's something that you're uncomfortable with? Are you uncomfortable with making cold calls? Are you uncomfortable with sending emails? Are you uncomfortable with live streaming and getting on in front of a camera for an hour and 5 minutes? Are you uncomfortable? What is it that you're uncomfortable with? Step out of your comfort zone at least once daily. You will find that the more that you do that, the more that you step out of your comfort zone, the more that you jump into that cold plunge, the more that you do something that causes you to have to stop for a moment and say, ooh, let me grab my courage. The more that you do that, the stronger that your courage muscle becomes. Step out of your comfort zone at least once daily. We got 365 days in 2026. You want to make success in 2026? That doesn't happen inside of your comfort zone. That doesn't happen with stagnation. That doesn't happen with complacency. It happens with consistency. It happens with courage. It happens with stepping out of your comfort zone at least one time. Every day. Every day. Every day. Let's see what everybody's saying. Natalie Gregg says, thank you for the shout out. Oh my gosh, you're welcome, my friend. Teresa says, thank you, my friend. All right. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Those who communicate more effectively make greater impact. Yes, absolutely. 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 Listen, friends, today is January 1st. And guess what? Somewhere in the world it's already January 2nd. Right now in the East Coast of the United States, I've got about 4 hours before the clock switches over to January 2nd. And I'll only have 364 days left in this year. I'm determined to make success of it. I'm like, listen, this year is going to be the biggest, the best, the most successful year yet. I am committed to living this year big. I'm committed to living this year big. Y'all, you think you heard from me before. Oh my gosh. 2026 is going to be, it already is. I'm declaring and decreeing it. I'm claiming it. It is an amazing year. It's going to be the year. It's going to be the difference making year. And that happens when you step out of your comfort zone daily. Grab your courage. Listen, y'all. I got to get on out of here. I got to get on out of here because I got some stuff to do. And one of the things that I promised myself was that I was going to get to bed a little bit earlier in 2026. I'm going to be more consistent with my bedtime in 2026. So I'm so glad that you all are here. Do me a favor. Join me on Mondays for Mindshift Monday. We get started with season number 2 of Mindshift Monday this coming Monday at 7:30 a.m., January 5th. And we will be on the platforms, Instagram, LinkedIn, Substack, Facebook, YouTube. But the main 3, LinkedIn, YouTube, Substack, that's where we'll be hanging out. And I want you to join us by going to mindshiftmonday.com. You will get the information that you need there, mindshiftmonday.com. Or you can just get signed up with us by texting live, LIVE, to 240-557-8679. Text live to 240-557-8679, and we will send you the information about when we are live next. All right, y'all. Do me a favor. Tell me, yes, 7:30 Eastern on Mondays. Yes. And then join us for the after show. So we go 7:30 to 8 for that live show. And then we have another 30 minutes in our Zoom room live with everybody after that. So join us for the Mindshift Monday. It's going to be a great year, y'all. I'm excited. I'm excited about 2026. Okay. Before I leave, do me a favor. Everybody that's on the chat. Hey, Zan, Barber. Tell me one thing that you're excited about in 26. Really quick in the chat. Tell me one thing. I want to put a few of these on screen. What is one thing that you're excited about? I know your hands are typing right now, so I'll give you a few moments. 2026. Hey, did y'all notice? I don't know how many of you watch what I do on a regular basis. Do you notice any differences? I kind of made a couple of adjustments in here. I put up some canvas while y'all are typing. Put up some canvas art back here. Got my little bamboo tree. It's got lights on it, Christmas all year round. Got my CSP frame. Let me actually get that and show that to y'all. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, my certified speaking professional award, etc. Yeah, it means that I'm a member of the National Speakers Association, and I like to talk, and I get paid for doing it. And I do it good. Hey y'all. Well, all right. So let's see what we got. David says, all the things I'm saying no to in order to raise my floor. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah, Misty, CSP. Come on, Misty. Are you on that stage yet? Come on, Misty. We gotta get you on the stage. We gotta get you on that stage. Let's go. Let's see who else we got here. Misty says my audiobook will be on Amazon, Fearless Advocates. I love it. Fantastic. Excellent. Zan says carrying forward the momentum started in 2025. Nice. I'm committed to living this year big. Yes, that's right. That is right. Colin says the midterm elections. Dude, yes. Get out there and vote, y'all. Let your voice be heard. Let's see. Oh, Phoenix, I'm so proud of you. Graduate with your bachelor's in music production, April 2026. Listen, you got to get me some of that music. I got to hear what you got going on. Excellent. Excellent. Nice medal. Thank you, Zan. Getting on more stages, sharing your stories and empowering family caregivers. I love that, Teresa. Excellent. Coach AD says creating my own stage. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to hold you to that. We're going to commit you to that. All right. So let's see what else we got going on here. Anybody else putting stuff in? What are you committed to in 2026? Let me know how I can be support for you in that process. Yeah. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. I'm excited. If y'all wake up excited in the morning, I'm going to be so excited tomorrow, January 2nd. Y'all going to be sick of me. All right. Have a good one. Make your 2026 your best 2026 yet, although it's been your only 2026, but you know what I'm saying. Be good, y'all. Be great, y'all. Be amazing. Amplify your voice. Peace.